So here we have a pretty lake that is not my destination. It's on the way. It's a guidepost, for lack of a better term. Supposedly this lake does have rainbows in it. Pretty little lake. So I don't know. I know where I'm going, but as of right now, I'm not real sure how to get there. I think my destination is up there. So my destination lake's right up here. This is the outlet. Last bit in here, there ain't no trail. Okay, here's my destination. It's an unnamed lake, and yep, it's really unnamed. It's not named on a map. Pretty little lake. Well, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, July 15th. I'm in the Beaverhead Range. I'm at an unnamed lake. It's not named on a map. Pretty little lake's supposed to have, it was planted with golden trout, supposed to have 4-year-olds in here. There's a partial trail. There's a lake that sits below it, and there's a trail that goes to that lake. And then the pull up here is, I don't know, the pull up here, there's really no trail. Although the topography, particularly to the east of the lake, makes me think that I should find a footpath in here, but anyway, I got here. I don't know how scenic my pictures will be today. It's really smoky here. There's two major fires kind of in the area. There's one across the valley in the Alder Creek drainage in the West Pioneers that I guess is good size. It's actually, they've got it closed off up in there in a basin where I had actually wanted to go, and there's a lake up there I've been wanting to fish. But anyway, the other fire is just to the north of here in this range, the Trail Creek fire, just to the north of here. And I noticed coming in, one of the spur roads was closed, and they've got a big closure. So I don't know, boy, this is a pretty lake. It's kind of clearing out a little bit. It's supposed to be 30% chance of thunderstorms later today. Yeah, so this lake has goldens, and you know, I'm not seeing any fish cruising, but that's not uncommon for golden trout. This could be I don't know what kind of a day this could be. Golden trout in lakes they can be very hard to catch. Most lakes most lakes they're very difficult to catch, and you can fish a lake all day, not even see a fish, and you'd swear there's no fish in them. I don't know if that's the case with this lake, but most golden lakes are like that. We'll see on this one. So really, when you're fishing goldens, it's boom or bust. A lot of times it's bust. But if I do catch one, it should be a nice one in here. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet here. I'm probably give you a little scenery there, but what I'll probably do is I'll probably start off with a floating line, and I'll probably use some sort of a scud and a chironomid pupa under strike indicators, kind of what I'm thinking, and see how that works. Yeah, pretty little lake. We'll see how she fishes. Wow. Callibaetis duns on the water, I'm seeing. Yep, I'm seeing a few Callibaetis duns on the water, some caddis. Interesting. Okay, well. So there's a golden. I do see there are fish here. There's a golden right off this shoal here cruising. So that's interesting. He looked to be about 13 inches long, which is all right. Well, at least I know there's fish here. Well, it's 12:40. 12:40 p.m. I've been fishing for about an hour. I'm using a black and red chironomid pupa and a scud, an olive scud under a strike indicator, and there are Callibaetis duns everywhere. This is similar to what I ran into a couple weeks ago. Lots of Callibaetis duns. I have several duns on my body right now. The fish, you know, like I've seen in a few other lakes, the fish, you know, for whatever reason, they're not keying in on them. Goldens can be very tough to catch in lakes. You can fish for them all day and not even see a fish and swear there's nothing in the lake. I have seen fish in this lake. When I first got here, I noticed that there was I saw one kind of nosing around among the rocks. It was about 13 inches. And then I've seen one rise out towards the middle of the lake, but other than that, that's about it. I would usually, even though they're tough to catch, usually a hatch like this will make them active. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Water temperature feels good. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a typical golden trout lake, though. Duns everywhere. Duns on the camera, and the fish aren't working them. Well, it's 1:40, a little before 1:40, like 1:36, 1:37 in the afternoon up here, and I've been skunked so far. This is kind of that's crazy. This is essentially a dream scenario, you know, for chasing golden trout. A lake, you've got a full-blown Callibaetis hatch in progress, along with some caddis on the water a little bit. You know, this is similar to what I've run into the last couple weeks. Just a lot of calabatus duns. So you would think this would be the perfect setup for catching golden trout. Well, not so much here, and I'm not real sure what's going on. I have seen fish here. There are fish here. I have seen some fish. I'm having a little lunch, but I've seen 3 or 4 fish. There was one, I was kind of worked my way over by the outlet, and there was one that I ran into, maybe about 20-25 feet away from me, and kind of just lazily cruising, and so I threw my flies out, kind of behind him, about 5 or 6 feet, and he looked at him. He turned and looked at him, and then turned away. So, yeah. Basically, they either are not in an eating mood, or they don't like my presentation with the 2 flies and the strike indicator. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have some lunch, and then I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to change over to an intermediate line and a couple of flies, and try a more active, try a retrieve, you know, and see if they like that, and I'll try that for about an hour, and then if that doesn't produce, I'll just kind of pack up and head on out. But beautiful lake, fishing not so good, but you know, that happens, particularly with goldens. There are fish here. I know that there's fish here. I see them. So pretty lake though. Well, it's probably a little bit before 4. I'm on the hike out. Cross country down from the lake to pick up the main trail. That's interesting. There's a trail there, an old trail. Anyway, I got skunked. There's fish there, but they weren't interested in anything I was throwing. I switched over to an intermediate line and a Denny's Calabatus nymph and AP emerger, and threw that for a while, and nothing. I didn't have a bite the entire day. So there's fish in there, just in true golden fashion. They're hard to catch. I had the lake all to myself. Just as I was finishing my cross country out, just above the main trail, I saw a couple hiking in. That's the only people I've seen in here today. Well, the first mile post on a hike in. So the left fork here goes up Lion Creek to Grayling and Lion. Right fork goes up to Lake Abundance and Crescent. Lots of trees down across the trail already. Looks like trail maintenance is like non-existent this year. Everywhere I've hiked pretty much. So we're dropping down here to our creek crossing just up ahead. about 3 miles in. All right, here's my little creek crossing. You know, in high water, you got to ford it, but it looks like I can probably get across it on foot today. So on the left here, right there, is the old trail, and over here is the new trail. The new trail is built with switchbacks. It goes up into this hanging canyon. The old trail just kind of went straight up it. And so the new trail crisscrosses it quite a bit on the switchbacks, but it's a much easier, much nicer trail. Sometimes you see fish in here. Sometimes. Doesn't look like today though. Oh, there's a little one. There's a couple little ones. Yep, there's some little ones. Well, good morning. It's Friday, July 16th, 2021. I'm in the East Pioneers. This is day 2 of a set of mini trips, I guess, or hikes, whatever you want to call it. I was in the Beaverhead Range yesterday chasing golden trout, unsuccessfully. So today I'm in the East Pioneers, en route to there's a group of lakes up ahead. There's 2 groups of lakes in this area. I'm en route to one of them, but what I'm hoping to do, there's a lake. I was in here last year. What I'm hoping to do is I want to veer off trail here. There's a lake off to the south. It's been 10 years since I fished it. I'll call it Sheila Lake. That's a code name. And it should have 3-year-olds in it, and maybe if I'm lucky 7-year-olds. It's a shallow lake. Sometimes it winter kills, so we'll see. And then it's only, well, I don't know, probably about 2/10 of a mile, quarter of a mile. Just got to find the best place to get off the trail and get to it. Hopefully it has west slopes in it, so hopefully the fishing will be better, because my last 2 trips, yesterday and last Saturday up at Joaquina Lake, I really struck out, and I don't handle that too well, especially after hiking. So pretty good hike in here. Anyway, mosquitoes aren't too bad until now. The final thing I'll say is trail maintenance this year has been basically non-existent. I think I've got 1 or 2 people ahead of me on a horse. Other than that, that's all I saw down at the trailhead, and 1 person at the campground. It is a Friday, so I'm expecting some traffic in here later on. But I've basically hiked, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 trails in the last 2 weeks in the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest, East Pioneers, Beaverheads, and every one of them looks like there's been no trail maintenance this year. This one, wow, coming up Canyon Creek, just, it's crazy. All kinds of I can't even count the amount of trees across the trail. So anyway, see you at the lake. A lake in the East Pioneers with rising fish. And I got my waders. Wow, there, I don't know what they're taking. Looks like we got some caddis on the water from what I'm seeing. Yeah. All right. Small lake. Haven't been here in 10 years. 10 years ago was the last time I was here. All right, I don't know. I like this area right out in here because I can wade it, but I can all along. I think all along the lake, I think is going to be decent. So there's a lot of caddis on the water here. And this is about the time for it, mid-July, early to mid-July it starts. And you can kind of, you might be able to see that one, but what they do, they're ovipositing, and they kind of run along the water there. And it depends on the species. Some species, they just flop on the water and drop their eggs. Others, they run on the water like that. This light-colored caddis, and you can see them here just running on the water, that is probably Ocetus, the longhorn sedge. And it is it's a caddis that occurs in lakes and in slow waters. Very common. It's one of the 4 or 5 major caddis that occur in still waters. And the trout are kind of keying on them, what they're doing. I can see them. Of course, right now you don't see anything, but I'm seeing the fish will even, if the caddis are flying a little bit above the water, they can see them and they'll chase them, waiting for them to land, because they're kind of erratic on the water, and they're kind of erratic, and so the fish don't have, they got to kind of track them and get a good shot in if they're going to get one. So there's a couple of things I can do here. One thing I could do is I could put a caddis imitation on. I carry a caddis called a dancing caddis. It's one of Gary LaFontaine's imitations. It's actually a dry fly, and it's perfect. It's got an upturned hook, and it's perfect for skating. You basically just throw it on the water and you skate. That's what you do with it. And it's kind of fast fishing is what it is. It's, the fish will, you give it a fast, quick retrieve in, a continuous retrieve in, and it creates a wake, and the fish will see it and jump. But the other thing I could do is I could try the ant. Regardless, what I'm going to have to do though is I'm going to have to put a floating line on. I have to change my leader. I got a leader set up on it for fishing subsurface under strike indicator. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. More to come. All right, well, so we got a bunch of ants here. I kind of sat down on them. We must have some kind of ant colony in here, but yeah, like, I look at ants a lot when I'm in the high country because I fish them so much. These are, most of these ants, the little ones like this, this group here, their abdomen's black, their head's black, and the middle part, their thorax, is kind of a red-orange. And I saw some carpenter ants, but there's a carpenter ant. Let's look at him. Yeah, there's your carpenter ant right there. I fish those in a 16, which is my standard. There's another one there. That's my standard fly in the high country. But I also carry the red. I carry some of the red ones in about an 18. There's the caddis on the water. He's in the shallows where a trout can't get him. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this. So that's the fly that I'm going to use. This is one of Gary LaFontaine's Dancing Caddis. This is prize 16, I think. As you can see, it's tied on an upturned hook. It's kind of like an inverted elk-hair caddis, except the bottom, the hackle on the bottom is clipped, and it's meant to skate across the water. I believe he had several different color variations for these, and this one I believe he called Ginger, and it's actually meant for imitating this very specific caddis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grease it. You know, I'm going to put fly floating on it and a fly line. I'm going to go out there, cast out, and give it a fast retrieve and see what happens. It's been a while since I've done this. The problem with this fly is with that upturned hook, you have to resist the temptation to set the hook immediately. You got to basically say one and then do it. There needs to be a little bit of pause so that the fish turns down, otherwise you'll pull it out of their mouth. So last time I did this, I don't remember when it was, but it was fast fishing, so we'll try it. Okay, here goes. Not a lot of room in back of me, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to roll cast out, and you can let it sit there for a minute, but generally what you want to do is you can give it a fast hand twist retrieve, and it'll make a little wake on the water, and with a little bit of luck a fish will chase it, which didn't happen there. The nice thing about this is that the wake attracts the fish. So we'll let it sit there for a minute. And that may not work so well. Ah, there we go. Well, I tell you, it sure is hazy up here with the smoke from the fires. This is crazy. Well, he's not real huge, but he does look like he's in good shape. He's about 11 inches. Ooh. Fat, real nice fat fish though. So this lake was stocked in 18. So these should be 3-year-olds. There you go. So there's a big old fish right out in here. If I can get him without spooking him. A big old fish. I mean, he's a good sized fish. So let the fly sit for a minute, and I'll start the retrieve here. The key is to pique his interest without scaring him. I kind of lost track of where he went, so so far the fishing hasn't been red hot. I've caught the one, I missed another one, an ice fish that jumped it. And that's been about it. There's a fish over here, I don't know if it's the same one, he's kind of in the shallows here. I could be wrong, but I think there's 2 or 3 over in here. There he is. There's the big guy. Problem is I just put it right over him. That's never a good situation. So we'll let it sit for just a second, and then that probably was not a good move. So that's interesting. I got a fish right here in front of me, about 15 feet away, and he's just sitting there. Just sitting there. Oh, there's one. There's a little one. Interesting. Ooh, that's a big fish. Yep, and I scared him. I spooked him. Yep, I spooked him. That's too bad. Yep, I didn't have much of a choice when I casted though, so oh well. So these fish are some of them are kind of spooky. The bigger guys are. So I don't know. I'm not sure how I play this. I did have a nice fish jump the fly here a little while ago. So I don't know. Part of me is wondering if the ant might be better. They might be a little bit less suspicious of it. Okay, one thing so I snapped my fly off. I was doing a roll cast here. A couple things have happened. I snapped off my fly, and then right before that, I was running the fly in, and I had a refusal from a pretty good sized fish. It may have been that same one I've been messing with, and so then I snapped my fly off, and I decided, well, let's put the ant on and see what happens. And I just missed one off the ant. But I got to look, while I was changing flies, I got to look at these caddis. And I think one of the things that's happening here with them, with me, is they're a different color. These they look ginger when they're flying around, but they really are gray with a gray body. They've got a speckled gray wing and a gray body, and that may have something to do with why I've had some refusals from them. So we'll see how the ant does. I'm having some trouble casting here where I want to go because of we've got this breeze that's blowing into shore here. I want to go a little bit further out, but I can't really do it with the way the wind's blowing. So anyway, we'll see if they take the ant. I guess that answers a yes. This feels like a nice fish too. Oh, I lost him and hung up. Well, it's like 1:20 p.m., so I'm having a little bit of lunch. The fishing is frustrating. Seems like these last week or so it's been that way. There's definitely fish here. They're rising, but I'm having trouble catching them. I had a dancing caddis on, and I caught one off that, and had some refusals, and I don't know, just so I ended up switching over to an ant, and it's a little similar but different. I don't know. I've had some misses on it. Fish they're rising to it, but I'm wondering if some of them are refusing it too. I did hook a very, very nice fish here a little while ago on the ant, and I lost him, and he was a nice fish. So I'm gonna eat some lunch here, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue with the ant, but I think I'm gonna rig up my other rod with an intermediate line, and a couple of flies very similar to what I had on yesterday, and fish that. You know, I'm gonna kind of alternate. So, you know, we'll see. There's definitely fish here. The size range is, I'm not sure what I'm seeing here. This lake should have 3-year-olds and possibly some 7-year-olds. And I'm seeing some nice fish in here. I'm also seeing some little fish that almost look a little too small for 3-year-olds, but I don't know. The last time I was in here, which has been a while, it's been 10 years ago, I did note that I caught a fish that, I'm trying to remember what he was too, but he may have been a cutthroat or a Yellowstone cutthroat. That would have been 2011. But his size and stuff made me think he was naturally reproduced, and there's certainly no obvious spawning areas in this lake, but you know, if there's some springs or something, you never know. But anyway, a little bit more fishing. I'll probably head out of here about 3-ish. Well, I'm headed out. It's 2:45. I'm on my way back to grab the day pack and put everything away and head out. I caught 2, and that was it. There's plenty of fish in here. It's probably worth fishing again. They are just being really, really finicky today, and I'm seeing a lot of fish that are kind of nosing around on the bottom and don't seem really interested in anything. So I don't know. There's fish here though. I caught 2, and there are some bigger fish in here. So anyway, call it a day.